by Ellery Queen. Scene 1. A private office of high official in Washington. Ellery Queen and his father, Inspector Queen, are ushered into the official's office. Both men seem puzzled, anxious, and apprehensive.
Sit down, gentlemen. Mr. Queen, I suppose you're wondering why I asked you to come.
Yes, sir. An urgent summons from such a distinguished government official as yourself, sir. I can't imagine why I should be so honored.
Sir, I hope you don't mind my coming along with my son. I was, well, a little nervous.
I quite understand, Inspector Queen. Glad you came, Mr. Queen. I've summoned you to Washington to lay a very important case before you. The most important case you'll ever be called upon to investigate.
I'm completely at your service.
On a certain date recently, a certain armed vessel of the United States was waylaid by a swarm of enemy submarines on the high seas. At exactly 5 p.m., 3 torpedoes crashed into our ship and sank almost immediately. The loss of American lives was considerable.
I'm sorry to learn that, sir.
This ship was involved in an extremely important operation, gentlemen. Its loss through surprise submarine attack not only caused the deaths of a large number of American fighting men, but a war plan closely integrated with the overall Allied strategy was lit before it got started.
But the plan must have been a strict War Department secret.
It was even stricter than usual, Mr. Queen. Only 6 people knew it. And their integrity cannot possibly be questioned, yet the nest of enemy subs was lying in wait.
Mightn't there have been, they've been there by pure accident, sir?
No, Inspector. In the naval action which followed the attack, one of the enemy subs was captured by our forces. The enemy commander has been thoroughly interrogated, his effects examined. There's no doubt that those subs had positive information.
But if total secrecy was maintained, sir, how did the enemy get its information?
That, Mr. Queen, is why you're in Washington today. In the first place, the investigative agencies of the government are short-handed. We can use all the expert help we can get.
And I suppose my son's reputation for solving tough problems qualifies him, sir?
Very much so, Inspector. But there's still another reason I called you, Mr. Queen.
Why is that, sir?
You're involved.
I beg your pardon, sir.
My son's involved in the sinking of one of our ships by the enemy. I don't get it, sir.
Neither do we, Inspector. We haven't had time to work on it. The clue reached Washington only this morning. This scrap of paper, Mr. Queen, was found on the captured enemy sub-commander.
Thank you, sir. But this is fantastic.
For Pete's sake, son, what's on the paper?
Just 2 words, Dad. Or rather, a word and an initial. Ellery Q.
Ellery Q. But how in time did your name get on the memo in the possession of an enemy sub-commander, son?
I'd certainly like to find out.
I take it then, Mr. Queen, you'd welcome the opportunity to investigate this case?
Just try me, sir.
Very well. Effective immediately, consider yourself a special investigator for the United States government.
Thank you, sir. To whom am I to report?
You're accountable directly to me. Inspector, it's been a pleasure. Mr. Queen, good luck.
Thank you, sir. I'll find out how those enemy subs knew about that ship if I never solve another case in my life.
Scene 2. The Queen apartment in New York. Next day. In the apartment are Ellery Queen and his secretary, Nikki Porter. They have been talking about Ellery's new commission to solve the mystery of the torpedo U.S. warship.
Do you suppose the inspector and Sergeant Belly will get a leave of absence from the police department, Ellery?
I've deputized them as assistant special investigators, haven't I, Nikki? They won't have any trouble. But where are they, blasted? I can't do a thing till I get those lists.
What list, Ellery?
Dad, Belly, did you get it?
Here it is, son.
Just came by special courier from the War Department, Ellery.
That's a lot of papers. Don't tell me we have to go through a batch of stuffy reports.
ain't stuffy reports, Miss Porter.
Then what are they?
It's a list of names and home addresses of the survivors, the missing, and the dead that was torpedoed on the American side.
All right, Dad, now we can get to work. We've got to question the families of every man on this list.
Yes, sir.
But Maestro, there are thousands of names here. They stretch all the way from Maine and Florida to Oregon and California.
There's no other way, Sergeant. Nikki,
Yes, Ellery.
your job is to take these lists and arrange them by states and cities. Dad, you and Velly work out a practical traveling schedule for the four of us. We'll cover the entire country working west.
But Ellery, what do you expect to find in questioning the families of the victims?
Clues, Nikki. Clues that will tell us how the enemy knew about our warship and where to lie in wait for it. Somewhere in these names and addresses are our suspects and the solution.
And maybe the answer to that Ellery Q on that piece of access paper. That one gets me.
Never mind that now, Sergeant. Let's get to work.
Scene 3. Mrs. Brown's house in Richmond, Virginia. Some weeks later. The Queens, Nicky, and Sergeant Belly are walking up the path of a shabby little frame house. Nicky is consulting a list.
Mrs. Mary Jane Brown. Is this house all right?
Mrs. Brown, widow, one son, Richmond, Virginia.
We sure are covering territory. How many visits does this make?
541, Sergeant.
And we're still on the eastern seaboard.
I hope we have some luck with this, Mrs. Brown, Ellery. I can't see that we're getting anywhere at all. Not a clue so far.
I told you it would be a big job, Dad. Well, Sergeant, rouse Mrs. Brown, mother of Harry Brown, seaman 3rd class U.S. Navy. Mrs. Brown?
I'm Miss Brown.
Mrs. Brown, we're special investigators from Washington.
Good people, come in. Ain't nothing wrong with my son Harry.
No, Miss Brown. Your son's getting along fine in the hospital.
Thank goodness. Gave me a start. My parlor's a little messy. Won't y'all sit?
Your son Harry was wounded in a recent naval engagement, Mrs. Brown. He was quite a hero.
I know, sir. He's a real American.
So we're just here to talk to a hero's mother.
Harry's a wonderful boy, sir. Enlisted right off in the war. Proud? Why, sir, he thinks being an American sailor is the finest thing there is.
Ain't nothing fine, Mrs. Brown.
Why, my Harry's so proud of the Manila Bay. That's his ship. He says it's the best ship in the Navy.
That's what all the boys say, Mrs. Brown.
Well, sir, it's a fact. I got into an argument with Mr. Williams a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Now, who is Mr. Williams, Mrs. Brown?
Yankee storekeeper. Keeps the grocery and meat market half mile into town. He's got a boy in the Navy, too. And he says his son's ship, the Buffalo, is the finest in the Navy. Is that so? I said. My Harry's ship, the Manila Bay, is. Almost came to throwing things. There was a crowd around kind of laughing their heads off. That old fool Williams was so mad. But then we sort of patched it up, and Mr. Williams gave me a specially fine mess of chitlins to show there was no hard feelings.
Mrs. Brown, did you ever hear your son Harry mention the name Ellery Queen or Ellery Q?
Beg pardon? I don't think so.
Now, we needn't take up any more of Mrs. Brown's time, Nikki.
But Ellery...
Thank you, Mrs. Brown, Dad, Sergeant.
But, sir, I could tell you lots more about my Harry.
I'm sure you could, Mrs. Brown.
Well, tell Harry his mom's afraid and he'll get better quick, sir.
I don't blame you for cutting that one short, son.
Another washout.
Hadn't heard of Ellery Queen. We'll never solve the mystery of Ellery Q.
Nevertheless, gentlemen and Miss Porter, Mrs. Brown has given us our first clue in 541 visits. Nikki, you took notes?
Yes, Ellery, of everything she said, but...
Well, what clue, Maestro?
Didn't you spot it, Sergeant? It's not an important clue. It doesn't tell us much. But it encourages me to keep going. We're on the right track. Dad, who's next on the list?
Somebody in Lexington, Kentucky. Clue number 1, huh? Too much for me.
Let's hurry or we'll miss our train connection. Who knows? We may find clue number 2 in Kentucky.
Scene 4. Reverend Jones's vestry in Minneapolis. 2 weeks later, the Queen group is sitting tiredly waiting.
Nicky, how do we stand now?
No luck in Kentucky, Inspector, or in Ohio, or Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. Number of states covered, 20. People visited. Way over 1,000. Yeah. So we find ourselves in Minneapolis, Minnesota, about to question the father of Lieutenant Thomas L. Jones, U.S. Army. Deceased.
Not even killed in action. Drowned in that sub. The ship is subsank.
If you ask me, it's hopeless. 1,265 visits and 1 clue. In Richmond, Virginia, he says, here's the Reverend.
Mr. Queen, forgive me for having kept you waiting. My duties in the church.
It's quite all right, Reverend Jones. You know why we're here?
Yes, my sexton's told me. Won't you all sit down? It's about my son and how he died in the service of his country.
Round without a rat's chance.
I'm a father myself, Reverend.
We know how you feel.
Thank you. We were very close, Tom and I. He was so full of life. I'm afraid sometimes my parish thought Tom was a bit too full of life. God bless him.
He wrote to you frequently, Reverend?
Oh, yes. Yes, Mr. Queen, every day. You know, my wife is bedridden, you know, and Tommy knew how anxious his mother was about his daily welfare, how much his letters meant to us. As a matter of fact, I happen to keep the very last one he wrote to us. It is dated Christmas Eve, if you wouldn't be too bored.
I assure you, Reverend, we're very much interested in Lieutenant Jones's last letter to his parents.
Thank you. For example, listen to this. It's part of the letter I repeated to many friends and parishioners. You're sure I'm not boring?
We're quite sure, Reverend.
You especially will appreciate this, Dad. Just today, one of the boys bought an autographed picture of Dorothy L'Amour, and Shaved-Tail Billy Green said he'd swiped it from him and the other contestants, one of my special buddies in the company, Frank Winters. So Frank said with that, and he hadn't, and they almost had a brawl about it. So finally I said, you both claim it. Why not put it up to old Grouchy? He's our CO. But they said, okay, and I had a hard time keeping a straight face because our CO is full of surprises. The old Grouch, he heard the case, and without batting an eye, he says, gentlemen, he says, you each claim possession of that photographed photo of this comely and estimable young woman. And he says, since there are no other facts, I'll decide the case with absolute justice. To wit, I'll tear the photo in half like this. And he rips Paul Moore right down the middle. Gave each one of them a pat. Now scram, the CO snarls, and start thinking about the war. You'll find yourself in a couple of death jobs. While the rest of us are having fun. You should have seen Frank's and Billy's faces. Dad.
Dad, Belly, Nicky, let's go.
Really, I'm sorry that you all came back. You'll just give me a moment, please.
Thank you, Reverend Jones. We shan't intrude any further.
That was such a sad letter, Ellery. You didn't even give me a chance to ask Ellery about Ellery Q. You never do.
Never mind Ellery Q now, Nicky. Dad, we're in luck.
What luck?
Yeah, so we meet Reverend Jones in Minneapolis, so he read us Lieutenant Jones's last letter. So what have we done? The usual nothing.
On the contrary, Sergeant, we got clue number 2.
No, wait a minute, son. You mean to say that somehow the enemy got hold of that boy's yarn to his father about Dorothy Lamour's photograph?
I mean just that.
But suppose they did, Maestro, so what?
Never mind now, Sergeant. Dad, we're really beginning to get somewhere. Nicky, who's next on our list?
Somebody in Laramie, Wyoming.
Westward home.
Scene 5. An airplane factory near Los Angeles. The Queens are ushered into the executive office of the factory. The din is deafening. They can scarcely hear one another. They all look tired and discouraged.
Wait this office, Mr. Queen! I'll get her off the assembly line!
So how do we stand this quarter?
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, Sergeant.
East, south, middle, west, far west, Oregon, Washington, now Los Angeles, California. And what do we got? Sore pups.
And 2 clues I don't understand.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming of the clues in Richmond and Minneapolis, Ellery?
No, Nicky, they were clear as crystal. But there must be another clue somewhere, perhaps more than one.
So who was this we're investigating in this airplane factory?
And Mrs. Richard K. Smith of Los Angeles. She works here. Why, she's no older than I am. In overalls.
Who's Mr. Queen?
I am Mrs. Smith, special investigator for the...
Yeah, I know. The foreman told me. I don't know what I can tell you. My husband's dead. Died on a ship. So I got myself this job, helping to make claims.
Well, that's courageous of you, Mrs. Smith.
Courageous hooey. I wish they'd let me shoot a machine gun. Make it snappy, please. Every minute I'm away from my bench means I'm holding up a plane.
Your husband was Private Richard K. Smith.
Yeah, a draftee. We met while he was in camp near San Francisco. We fell for each other. Why do I have to go over all this? I want to get back to my work.
I assure you it's necessary, Mrs. Smith.
I know how you feel, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. Rick didn't get me more than once a blue moon, and I couldn't afford to make the trip up to Frisco to visit him. It was tough. Then, all of a sudden, Rick shows up in LA, December 24th. Unexpected one-day leave, he said. I pulled like a fool. Rick said there was rumor in camp they were shutting up, and that's why the boys got leave.
Do you want my handkerchief, Mrs. Smith?
Thanks. I had a feeling in my bones that I'd never see my work again. So I says, Rick, let's get married. Now, right away. He kissed me. But he said we ain't got no time. He's supposed to report back to camp in Frisco, and he just had time to make it.
But you did manage it, didn't you, Mrs. Smith?
You must have, since you're a missus.
Yeah, it was like a miracle. The last minute, Rick gets a phone call from some officer in his camp. Says he wasn't to report back to his camp, but to somewhere else.
Just where was he to report, Mrs. Smith?
I don't know. All I know is the switch in plan gave my Rick 7 hours extra leave. So we got a lot of my friends together, told them all about it, and we got married. And then Rick went away. I never even got a letter from him.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Smith.
What am I crying for? I got a date with the bomber, and I hope he gets the dirty brat that got my husband. I gotta get back.
I don't like this job, Ellery. I want to go home.
We can't go home, Nicky, not till we finish with this list of survivors and casualties from that torpedo ship.
Who's next, Inspector?
Never mind that list, we're through with it.
Through with it!
Yes, we just found the third and most important clue. We don't need any more.
Don't need it anymore, but Ellery, that means...
Yes, Dad. Now I know how the enemy found out when and where to ambush that American ship.
But how about the Ellery Q, Ellery? That scrap of paper with your name on it that was found on the enemy commander.
You know what that means too, son?
Oh, I knew the answer to that, Dad, a long time ago. Let's go back to Washington and report a successful solution.
And so, Ellery Queen now knows the answer to the mystery of the murdered ship. Do you? You should be able to answer the 3 questions correctly. 1. What were the 3 clues Ellery spotted? 2. What did they mean to the enemy? And 3. What did Ellery Q mean? And now, the solution. Scene 6. The Washington official's office. 2 days later. With the official are Ellery and Inspector Queen, Nicky, and Sergeant Belly.
So, you also solved the mystery of the Ellery Q on the enemy sub-commander's scrap of paper, Mr. Queen?
It wasn't my name. It isn't a name at all. The appearance was a coincidence. It's a code. Let's take the Q part first. Which letter of the alphabet is Q?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J,
The
K, L,
17th letter, Ellery.
Remember that. Now, one of the facts was that the ship was torpedoed at 5 p.m. In one international system of figuring time, AM and PM are not used. The hours are numbered from 1 to 24. By this system, the letter Q in the code phrase Ellery Q would stand for the 17th hour. What is the 17th hour in terms of AM and PM?
5 p.m., the time of the torpedo.
So we know Q is the time instruction given to the commander of the enemy submarine.
But what does the Ellery stand for?
Obviously, Nikki, for a word which, when grouped with Q, or 5 p.m., gives a clear message. Think of it as a group of letters, E-L-L-E-R-Y. Now note that the first and fourth letters are the same, and the second and third. Can you think of another word with similar construction?
Ooh, me, Maestro?
Well, Sergeant, what happened at 5 p.m.? There was an attack on the ship. A-T-T-A-C-K. A-T-T-A-C-K.
Ellery, the code word for attack.
Yes, Dad. Ellery Q simply meant to the sub-commander, attack at 5 p.m., which combined with his other information gave him all he needed to know.
Exactly what the FBI figured out, Mr. Queen, the day after you took this assignment. But how did the enemy know about the ship? That it was sailing, when, from where, and all about it?
I found 3 cute clues, sir, that told me the whole tragic story. Dad, what did Mrs. Brown of Richmond, Virginia tell us?
Why, Mrs. Brown said her son claimed his ship, the Manila Bay, was the finest in the Navy.
Clue number 1. The name of the ship, the Manila Bay. Ships in the United States are named by a system. One type of American warship is named after famous American battles. Manila Bay was a famous American battle of the Spanish-American War. Now, what type of ship is named after famous battles?
Aircraft carriers.
An enemy agent overheard Mrs. Brown's thoughtless remarks that morning 2 weeks before Christmas in a crowded store. When the enemy's intelligence headquarters in the United States fitted the Manila Bay into its other information, it was able to say, an aircraft carrier never sails alone. It's always accompanied by fighting craft to protect it. Therefore, a large naval force is involved.
But Ellery, I still don't see...
But what little bit of information did Reverend Jones of Minneapolis unconsciously reveal?
That joke about the argument in camp over Dorothy Lamore's photo and how their CO settled it.
That yarn came from Lieutenant Jones's last letter, written, therefore, just before he was shipped out of camp. Reverend Jones's son knew he might never come back. So on the eve of departure, he tried to give his father an important piece of information by inventing a bit of apparently innocent camp gossip. Can we figure out what Tom was trying to say? Oh, yes. Consider that the letter was written to a minister of the gospel on Christmas Eve. Consider that it was the story of 2 people claiming the same cherished object and a wise arbiter who said, cut it in half.
Tom was writing a parallel to the Bible story of the wise king who ordered the infant cut in half when 2 women claimed it.
And who was that wise king? King Solomon.
The Solomon Islands.
Tom was trying to tell his father he was being shipped off to the Solomons.
Precisely. Reverend Jones thoughtlessly repeated it to his friends and parishioners.
And eventually it reached a spy's ears or some Axis sympathizer and was sent along to the enemy HQ to be added to the other bits of information about the Manila Bay and its accompanying naval force. And the third clue, Mr. Queen?
Nikki, what did Mrs. Smith say?
Well, there was a rumor Rick Smith's outfit was going overseas. The day before Christmas, when he was on unexpected leave. At the last minute, he got an extra 7 hours leave.
Or put it this way. Private Rick Smith, on unexpected leave in Los Angeles, was supposed to return to his camp near San Francisco. Now, this trip normally takes 10 hours, but because Smith was notified at the last minute to report to a different place, he found himself with 7 hours extra leave. In other words, his outfit had suddenly been moved from a place 10 hours travel from Los Angeles to a place only 3 hours travel from Los Angeles. One important troop embarkation point is 3 hours travel from Los Angeles.
San Diego.
And everybody at Miss Smith's last-minute wedding was told about it by Mrs. Smith.
Yes, sir. And when the enemy put all the bits and places together, along with other information that clearly tied them into a single operation, he knew, first, that a large naval force of fighting ships was involved. Second, this naval force was bound for the Solomons, and not only that, but troops were involved. Because Tom Jones was an Army officer and Private Smith was a draftee. And this meant that the fighting ships were convoying troop transports. To warrant such a large naval escort, it must involve a great number of transports. So it was an important troop movement. And third, the convoy was sailing from San Diego, California. When? Lieutenant Jones rode on Christmas Eve. Private Smith got his unexpected leave the same day, December 24th. So the time of the sailing was the next day, Christmas Day. The enemy relayed to its subs operating in the South Pacific these facts, and they merely lay in wait along the easily estimated route until the convoy appeared. A simple nautical calculation. There it is, sir. The whole picture from 3 little bits of loose talk.